Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I hope everyone is truly enjoying BlizzCon, whether you're there in the front row cheering, the back row live tweeting your outrage, or even if you're not there at all. Is anyone else jealously watching all the fun from home, alone, in flyover country? Me either. Anyway, I'm Jeeth, I'm a healer in Method. Today I'll be talking about everything that was announced during the opening ceremony at BlizzCon 2019. Before we get into it, remember to let us know what you think in the comments below, and hit me with a like or dislike as well. First, it's important that you know I'm essentially a one-trick. While I dabble in lots of games, I'm the guy sitting in the middle of cows, corn, and Christ country, K Kona brother, playing World of Warcraft 15 hours a day. World of Warcraft is my passion, and mostly I'll be talking about that. That's it, let's dive right in. I think it's important to note that Blizzard started the opening ceremony with essentially an apology about the Hearthstone Hong Kong protest stuff. I, as well as a lot of other people, have expressed very strong opinions about this issue, but regardless of your position, pretty much everyone agrees it wasn't handled well, so it was probably smart to address that elephant before it started stampeding around the room. The good stuff starts with the cinematic. Now I have to admit to you guys, I had no idea what was going on. I spent the entire movie completely mystified, talking with my girlfriend about what it might be. Obviously it doesn't seem like Overwatch. Maybe it's Diablo? Maybe it's Heroes? Definitely doesn't look like WoW. But whatever it is, it looks like a really well done movie. Very quality animation, an excellent cinematic. Wait, was that Cahoon? I could swear I saw Cahoon in there for a moment. So, Diablo 4. Obviously last year they announced Diablo Immortal, Diablo for the phone, and that was a really famous BlizzCon flop. I'm not at all surprised that they would try to redeem themselves this year by opening with what Diablo fans really wanted. I personally have literally never even opened a Diablo game, much less played one, but I have to say it looked really good. They announced a PvP system, they showed some gameplay, it's available there to play as well. It looked very surprising and intriguing, and I'm definitely going to try out the game. Then they talked a little bit about developments in StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm. As a true gamer and game connoisseur, I took very detailed notes about both, and I can confidently say that they look great. And or bad? Moving right along, finally getting to the stuff that I know a little bit about, World of Warcraft. Couple of comments about Classic. World Boss is coming out, that's exciting. The PvP honor system, also very exciting. A baby alpaca pet for charity. Turns out I'm going to need to buy one of those for my girlfriend. She thinks they are super cute. Some stuff about the 15th anniversary. Altric Valley Battleground should be really fun, and a throwback raid with a couple of encounters, famous from the past encounters in World of Warcraft, that end up awarding you with a very cool looking mount based on Deathwing's model. But then we get to the stuff that really matters, the new expansion, Shadowlands. They opened with a cinematic with Bolvar and Sylvanas dueling, and I gotta say it looked amazing. Simply zooming in to Icecrown Citadel was such an evocative moment because for a lot of people, Wrath of the Lich King was one of the most popular and best expansions World of Warcraft has ever had. Seeing Bolvar stand up with his helmet, going from his crispy red coloration to his freeze-dried blue coloration for that duel, was a truly fun moment. Then we got to the end, where Sylvanas ripped the helmet off. Anyone else think shades of Darth Vader? I had no idea that the Crown of Dominion, which I believe is what it's called, maybe it's the Crown of Domination, could be broken, and I have no idea what that means for the control of the undead that crown enabled the Lich King to do. We see the world essentially rift apart and an upside down world appear above ICC. That is the Shadowlands. Blizzard announced the normal things you'd expect with a new expansion, lots of new zones, new dungeons, and what I truly care about, new raids. Some kind of gigantic shadowy monster that looks like we'll be fighting them in a new raid. Plus, teasers of Sylvanas. It would be awesome to fight her, although we still don't know whether that will happen. Because the Shadowlands are the death realm, essentially the afterlife for all heroes or regular people all throughout Azeroth, we're going to have a lot of callbacks to old favorites from World of Warcraft. Uther, Kael'thas, who knows who else. And these figures may or may not be good or bad guys that we're used to. It could be that Uther ends up being a bad guy or that Kael'thas ends up being a good guy. Who knows? We do know that Bolvar is going to play a large role, and that Sylvanas is pivotal as well. A couple of details that have already been shared include the fact that the level cap is being dramatically reduced. We're going from current level of 120 in BFA down to a new cap of 60 in Shadowlands. Your 120 character will be converted into a level 50 character and work toward the new level cap of 60. Additionally, Blizzard has announced that they're going to try to make every new level be meaningful in Shadowlands. That would be, if true, a huge contrast with Battle for Azeroth. In Battle for Azeroth, going from level 110 to 120 was an extremely unimpressive journey. During each additional level, you got no new spells, no new talents, no new anything. You essentially just got weaker and weaker as your stats scaled down and you lost your legendaries from the last expansion. Going back to a system where new levels give you new abilities in some way is likely to evoke some of the fondness folks had for the RPG elements of vanilla, obviously a callback to the popularity of Classic being released this year. One of the most important new systems announced during the opening ceremony on a slide that was shown is Covenants. There are apparently 4 Covenants in the new zones of the Shadowlands, something similar to factions, except that instead of just gaining reputation with a faction and eventually collecting Paragon boxes, you apparently ally yourself with one of these Covenants. And by doing so, you gain new abilities based on the Covenant you selected, including, apparently, new class abilities based on that Covenant. Obviously, this is going to be hugely important and there are going to be lots of new systems there. For example, are you locked into your choice? Depending on how important this is, it could result in a lot of new theory crafting, depending on what abilities you need to have to work on new content at the top level in the game, whether that be PvP or raids or whatever system you enjoy the most. How different are the abilities gained depending on which Covenant you choose? These could be incredibly important decisions and you'll be making them probably very early, so questions of whether or not you'll be able to change your decision will be very important to answer in the upcoming weeks. The new factions or Covenants are evocative of Harry Potter to me, but instead of Gryffindor or Slytherin, you'll be Night Fae or Necrolords, described in various ways and likely to give you various new abilities. We have several burning questions that are hopefully going to be answered as we move further into BlizzCon. First of all, BFA is not over. When is Ny'alotha, the next raid, going to be released? Second, this expansion, BFA, introduced the Race to World First as a large, popular, amazing new event. Will Blizzard be doing anything to support or enhance that experience? Maybe global release of raids, or tournament realms, or something to develop that system further. Will there be a new AP? We had Artifact Power in Legion, Azerite Power in BFA. I'm sure there'll be some kind of AP next expansion, maybe Abyssal Power, I don't know. Blizzard has announced that it will be playable this year, so it'll be released on or before December 31st, 2020. That means that at most, we have 1 full year of the Ny'alotha farm to look ahead to. Guys, I enjoyed hearing about the things that they announced, and I look forward to hearing everything that they announce about the new raid and the new expansion in the upcoming days of BlizzCon. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and hit me with a like or dislike as well. In the meantime, enjoy your BlizzCon, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.